didn't really say anything.
Use the StreamYard that just starts recording. So, all right. And we're going to do lead mag discussion. Go, Steven.
All right, here I go. So yeah, so within Canva, we found recently that after you log in just from the dashboard, you can go to apps and then mockups. And they have a whole suite of mockups that you can use that integrate directly with the templates or items in there. And for the sake of this one, I'll be using just a free mockup that anybody can have access to. But if you're a pro Canva user, you can use any of the ones on here for the content and then kind of resize it. But so for ebooks specifically for this lead magnet, I'll go to the print category and then books. And then once we're in here, obviously all the pro ones you can use, but for the sake of this one, I'll just use this free template that's available to anybody. But yeah, so after finding the one you want to use, it's as simple as hitting select. And then so you can upload the front of a design. So for example, if you have a design, like I'll be using this Microsoft Copilot ebook that I'll be releasing next week on the site. But, if you haven't recently gone to your designs there, you can just export the first page of the design through Canva as a JPEG and then use it in the upload section.
What?
For the sake of this presentation,
Yeah.
I'll jump in from designs. So I'll select the Copilot ebook and then just the first page. You can select anyone on here, but I'll use the cover. And then it will upload to that ebook mockup within Canva. It's nice that it all integrates pretty seamlessly. And then all you need to do from here is go to adjust image and you can fill. And that'll fit in there. One of my items I'll be using for the ebooks we already have on the site is resizing them so that obviously like this text will fit inside of a mockup easily. So all you have to do is just hit fill and it'll fit correctly. Hit save there and then verify that it all looks good. And then you can hit save mockup. And then a cool thing here, if you wanted to create your own ad or something based off of a mockup, you could hit like use in a design and then custom size. Like you just want to do a square one, you could create a new one, and then it'll pull that mockup directly into a design where you can edit it, move it around, whatever you want to do. So that's just kind of a cool extra piece if you'd want to start using that mockup immediately for other collateral.
So yeah, I just want to hold on that for a second. So that what he just explained there, like this is if you want to get a PNG, but if you want to create, you know, a square image or whatever for an ad or anything else, that's that functionality that Steven just showed. I think you went over that a little fast. I just wanted to kind of make sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
people
about to show
understood that.
just pulling the PNG for the website.
Awesome.
But that one will be if you hit download, it'll export here, and I always drag and check. But yeah, we'll have it pulled up, and I'll be using a peer group member GDS just to show how we would add it to their site. Kind of as example. I guess I already did it on this one, but basically,
You can just delete that block.
sure. All right, this is the final product, but we'll create it from scratch. So first, I'll just add a block, just make it blank for now. And then, so the way I would recommend to do it, at least this is in the Brizzy website builder, but it probably should be pretty similar for whatever builder you are using. But I would add in just a column or some area where we can add multiple blocks per area, and then make sure to distinguish an image on one side, and then whatever form is integrated. If you use like WP forms or a different form, like Jot form, you can integrate there with CSS or whatever you choose to use. But right now I'll have those in there. And when we're doing the contact form, Taher, if you kind of want to cover why we're doing only email rather than everything here, I can delete that.
Yeah, I mean, especially for lead magnets, we just want threshold to be extremely low. And I'll be talking about Kevin Clune a little bit later, but he's like the king of getting opt-ins, and he only does email because, you know, if we get their email, we know what their domain is. We can find the primary contacts. Like that's really all we need. Like it'd be nice to get all this other stuff, but like if they're just getting an ebook, we need to treat it just like subscribe to our newsletter. Like we're just gonna just get their email. We don't want any barriers. So
Yep. So we'll make it super simple here. And then you can go over to the image, and then within WordPress or whatever builder you're using, just take the download from Canva, input it here. It's actually already uploaded here, but wait for this one.
I have a question.
yes.
Yeah, what's up, Jamie?
Hey, Jamie.
Maybe you can cover it when you're wrapped up, but how do you guys handle all of the Gmail accounts? Because that's something that we've run into. You know, downloads of ebooks have resulted in Gmail or Yahoo emails as opposed to actual corporate domains. So if you could cover that a little bit at some point, that'd be delightful.
I feel like a lot of times when it's Gmail and whatnot, it's just spam anyway, which is the same thing that's going to happen with contact form. Like I had one person say they turned the contact form off on their site and just put a phone number because they got so much spam. And that's just, unfortunately, even with a CAPTCHA, there's going to be spam that comes through on a website.
Oh, no. I mean valid people actually putting in their Gmail because they don't want to give their corporate email.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a good point.
I think you can also set a validation criteria when you're creating a form so that it rejects Gmail addresses.
What form builder are you using?
Zoho Forms.
Okay, yeah, we're not using Zoho, but
You could
okay.
also put those plugins on the site that tell you the IP they're coming from and reverse looks up the company. So you
Okay.
could cross check it with that. There's a couple apps out there.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, Jamie. If somebody doesn't, and I'm guilty of this, right? If I don't want you to contact me, and so I'm literally intentionally giving you my spam Gmail address, even if you backsource me, right, and you find out where I'm coming from or who I am or anything else, and you reach out to me, what do you think the odds of my response is going to be something along the lines of F you?
Well, no, that's why I'm not saying to backsource them. I'm asking how to prevent that so that you cannot put in your Gmail. So therefore, if you want that book, you want that information, do you want that education for free? You damn well better put in your real email.
Yeah,
It's called an exchange for information, your information for the information I'm going to give you.
yeah, that's great. And I think
That's good. That's fair.
Yeah, totally. And I think that there are, as Alessandro mentioned, there are options. The other thing, just from another perspective, like we are just now moving into lead magnets more. Like I've always been so on board with inbound that I would just put the ebooks there for people to download whether they give me their stuff or not. Because my goal is to provide content that's obviously so good that people are like, oh, okay, like this was actually helpful. Like this wasn't them just trying to get my information.
Brett, I will.
But you're only going to get a limited number of conversions. So therefore,
totally.
you might as well heighten the likelihood of it being useful.
Totally. And that's totally a pivot we're making, which so I totally agree. But I guess my point is, even if they leave a Gmail and they don't want to be contacted, at least they're getting something of value and they're going to map it back to you. And, you know, if you have remarketing tags and everything else, you can follow them with really good content. So, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing and then that's the other thing with our market where we are, there's a lot of IT companies. So what's to stop them from taking that MSP can't book that I put on my website, slapping in a Gmail account and then reusing that book and redoing the copy, keeping the copy and then making their own and then essentially getting free MSP can't material.
Well, if that's the case, y'all could just let me know and I can go after them.
Well, we wouldn't know that if it's a Gmail. We only know that if they put their real email.
Yeah, I
and
guess
that's kind of the kicker, you know, that I want the price of admission to be something real.
Yeah, I think
I'm paying for it, so therefore they should too.
Yeah, we'll look at other options for that. You know, it looks like Zoho is an option. There should be a couple other ones where it actually has to be a domain. So great thoughts there for sure.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, Steven, you want to keep it on here?
Yeah, of course. I only have a little bit more on this piece. But yeah, so now it's uploaded. I'll hit select. And then that'll pop up here. Bridgie's a little bit weird sometimes, so I'll just resize this. Yeah. Except like toggle it. And then just make sure the actual sizing fits with the form. And another piece I would recommend here, at least what we were doing here, is just add like a text field next to the form since it is so short, since it's just securing email, and then fill it in with text from the actual ebook, either on the cover, the CTA, whatever you'd prefer for your site.
Yes, please. I'm sorry.
Whoa, that was loud. Whoever that was, please mute yourself. Jesus.
But yeah, so once this is all added in, so we've done it two different ways before. You could obviously have this rooted with your form to just send a message like, thanks for supplying this. We'll email you with the email they send the actual ebook to keep track of it. And then the way we've done it as well is a redirect. We've just done it within WordPress. So like the media library, we'd upload the PDF file here, and then you can copy the URL, and I'll always just copy and paste it to verify. Oh, put in the wrong URL. Yep, there it is. Scroll through, and then obviously they'd just be able to save it from here, and then take that same URL and add it to the redirect. And by providing their email, they would use a button and be able to get access. And obviously, as Jamie just brought up, great points, is there are limitations to that, but also it's just a way to hopefully secure some emails that you could target in the future. And then, yeah, I mean, we're all big about free content, especially within our peer group too. So yeah, that's kind of the quick process. And you can make it more complicated. Obviously, on the site, this would be branded, there'd be a background, pieces like that. But really the main piece I wanted to bring attention to is just like this mock-up section. These kind of free ones we can integrate onto the MSP Camp site. But I mean, if you're a pro member of Canva or you have that integration, even if you're a free member, I would jump in and see which ones you can use here, because there's a lot of neat stuff that all the pieces within Canva that we create can be edited to use to these sizes. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I guess I did want to jump in real quick too, because I'm thinking this could also be helpful.
Yeah.
But just for resizing, since some of the sizes will be different, just something cool we've been doing recently is just if you need anything changed for the ebook for a mockup that you're using, I'd recommend if you're a pro member to use the resize and magic switch. And from here, you can pick the exact dimensions you'd want to use and input like custom dimensions. And that'll help you resize and you can move around the elements as needed to fit the mockup. So yeah, just something extra, but a lot of cool functionality in Canva. We've been loving it recently, especially in providing templates to members. And yeah, that's the process if you kind of had no idea of how to start using a mockup and putting it on the site. Obviously, when you see a mockup out there, sometimes it could seem more complicated than it actually is with a lot of these tools out there. So
Yeah.
hopefully this helps you kind of get started with it rather than like paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, it's a way to professionalize our content super easy and quick. All right, Alessandro raised his hand. Yes, Alessandro.
Do you guys see an advantage to using a redirect when you're sending the lead magnets? Or because what we've got is Zoho Forms set up to send out a confirmation email whenever it is that somebody fills out the form, and attached to that email is the PDF of the lead magnet. Is there ever an instance where you would choose one over the other, or who cares?
I love that one too. I love that way too. Some people just want it like immediately. They don't even want to wait for the email. But again, either one is completely fine. That was actually the second thing that me and Steven talked about today that we've done too. We just emailed them with it, and it's wrapped around like how do you get the most out of it, right? So yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. And then they're already in your CRM. You've already tagged them for that campaign, and they're going to get the rest of your automation. So yeah, that's a good point. Great.
Yeah, redirect is definitely kind of like quick and easy if you just want to get started. But the way you just described it is perfect, and I would recommend kind of go with that process if you have the time to integrate it.
Totally. Randy, I see your message. Randy, I love how engaged you are. You're the best. But we did just check and your area is still locked. I'm sorry. But I promise if your area opens up, you will be the absolute first person that I know. And I'm probably going to give you a discount because how long you've waited. All right, Daniel, no worries, man. I know. I always forget I'm not muted too, so no worries there. Cool. So I just want to do a quick point on why Steven just covered the Copilot ebook, as well as why we're kind of putting more emphasis on lead magnets. So I went to the Magnetic Marketing Conference with Nigel Moore over the Tech Tribe. If you already listened to this podcast, I do apologize. But one of the things that they were talking about is the MIFG. So this was Russell Brunson, Dan Kennedy. If you don't know who Dan Kennedy is, he is like the father of all these like OG marketers, including Russell Brunson, Robin Robbins, even Chris Weiser. It all kind of comes back to Dan Kennedy. And one of the things that they were talking about is the MIFG, which is the most incredible free gift ever. And a MIFG is something that you give away for free, but it's actually awesome. And like, it has to actually be an incredible gift, right? It has to actually be something of value. And a lot of times, especially MSPs, we try and think of what's valuable and we'll say free consultation or like free dark web scanning or whatever. And those are kind of high threshold things. Like people don't really necessarily want to do that. We need to start thinking of more and more things that are like actually incredible. Like what is an actual most incredible free gift ever that we can give away to our prospects for their email? That's all we need is their email. And then we can get them on the rest of our marketing. And I was talking to an MSP recently, Nikhil. I don't know if he's on this call or not. If you are, please let us know. He's doing something really cool that is truly a MIFG. He is giving away a true penetration. He's an MSSP. He's not an MSP. He's giving away a penetration test for 5 computers built around a nonprofit that's actually a nonprofit, right? So organizations get their penetration testing or 5 computers. Not sure exactly how that works, but he's getting leads from this because people are like, oh yeah, I need to check that compliance box. And he's actually doing a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of time and giving to them for free. It's a truly incredible gift. And then now he really gets to start that conversation with the prospect. And I know it's hard for us sometimes because we're all so damn busy, but if we can truly give away a really good, cool free gift to get somebody into our sphere, like that's pretty cool. Like I saw somebody giving away a free cable cleanup. And it's like, yeah, like someone is actually going to go in after hours, clean up your closet, spend a bunch of time and effort. Like the liability of that, like I wouldn't do that, but this MSP is doing it and they're probably getting a lot of leads from it. It's causing a lot of headache for them, I'm sure, but it's also causing a bunch of leads for them. So I think I just like the mindset that they have on like truly finding what is a true offer, a true MIFKI that we can give away. And until we figure that out, some of these ebooks that we have right now are actually incredible. And I was like, why are more people not downloading this, How to Conduct an RFP for Managed Services? I was like, I don't get it. It's such a gold piece of content. Like, what the hell? Like, why aren't people, like, I spent so much time and effort on this. And then I realized the title sucks. The title sucks. How to Conduct an RFP for Managed IT Services. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Like, even if somebody
fell asleep reading the title.
Yeah. And so we're starting to tweak titles because it's like a YouTube thumbnail. If we just make it more exciting, as long as they click on it, they're going to get the content. It's good content. And so we gave a specific example on that one on making the title more exciting. I should have written down what it was, but it was like, read this before ever doing an RFP for IT, plus the exact template you need to go through the process, plus a bonus on the next page. And the bonus is going to be something else we're going to come up with, right? So now you took this boring ass ebook and you just made it significantly more exciting strictly by the text on it. So I think that's some ways we need to make sure we think about MIFKIs. It's like, okay, we have this great piece of content. We have this great Copilot ebook. How do we make it more exciting? Because we have hundreds of people landing on our website every single week. How do we get them to download it, to give us their email? Because if we get their email, we got more amazing content we're nurturing we can do to move them down the line. So I think somebody said here that they're doing something cool here. Stephen, you said you took this to the next level, or took that to a new level?
Oh, on the penetration tests, we issued a grant, or we marketed it as a grant to all the businesses in a market segment, and said, if you're in this segment, we're issuing, you have to apply for the grant.
Yes.
Because everybody likes free stuff, or they like to win free stuff.
Yep.
But I'm already doing like a level 1 pen test anyway, but now you're engaged because you're applying for that grant.
Yep.
And when I pick up the phone and I call you and say, hey, you won,
yep,
your grant was approved, and
genius.
So
it's great.
Yeah.
That's great. That's exactly how Nikhil's doing it. Then it's working like a charm. They have to get a special code to apply, and then if they get it, so it's great. Thank you for sharing that, Stephen. I love that. I love that a lot.